Yeah, incredibly exciting. Obviously, it's been a place where I grew up watching and playing cricket, so it's going to be an exciting week. Something I'm really looking forward to.
A lot of requests for tickets.
There's been quite a few. Yeah. Obviously, the family and the close friends are going to take preference. But yeah, I'm sure. Generally, SuperSport Park supports the guys really well, and I'm looking forward to what this week holds. Generally, it's a good batting wicket, yeah. How they've prepared it, I'm not too sure. I haven't had a look at it just yet. But yeah, generally it's good for batting. A lot of high scores, yeah. So I'd like to think it'll be good, but I'm sure we're going to prepare it fairly similar to last week. Maybe not as extreme, but it's something along those lines.
From the Indian bowlers?
Sure, incredibly difficult to say. The way that Newlands pitch played throughout the game, there was movement and there was bounce. So I'm not too sure how this one's going to play. Like I said, I haven't had the chance to look at the wicket yet. Yeah, it's been a bit of a roller coaster the last couple of years, but certainly an enjoyable one. Learned a lot about myself and about my game in those 2 years, which I think is quite important. Fortunate at a very young age to sort of rub shoulders with legends of the game, and that really does help for a young guy. So yeah, I've been very fortunate, and most importantly, I've kept learning, which is great. Obviously, there's not many days to prepare for the game, but I still don't think there's a lot to change going into the next test. For both sides, it's more just about making sure we're mentally nice and fresh. Obviously, it's quite an exhilarating event. That first test was very up and down, and yeah, for both sides it was like that. So I think more it's about getting the mind nice and fresh and ready to battle, or ready to go into battle. So yeah, in terms of preparation, technically I don't think there's too much both sides are looking to do. It's more just about being nice and fresh and ready on the day.
Aiden, you mentioned that you keep learning all the time. Did those lessons and dismissals?
Yes, sure. Yeah, definitely. Every day, it's the beauty of this game. Every day you're learning something new, and to be exposed to challenges like this is great, because you learn your best lessons at this level. So it certainly was valuable, yes, and something that going into this game I'll be more aware of as a player. Yeah, I'm incredibly happy for Lungi. We've been playing for quite a few years together now, against each other and together, and I'm so happy to see him finally getting a chance. He really does deserve it. Behind the scenes, he really puts in a lot of hard work, and I think he's got the perfect mindset that any young up-and-coming player needs to have, and it filters off onto us other younger players, and he certainly is sort of setting the benchmark for us.
Does that also give you more confidence for the future?
It does, yes. I mean, the leadership group and the senior players at the moment are obviously are legends of the game, like I've mentioned, and the experience not a lot of teams can buy, not a lot of players are going to experience what they've experienced. So to get to that stage one day will be something we really need to work hard towards, really keeping our awareness levels up there to sort of take in many other factors that others might not. So yeah, I think it provides a lot of confidence for young guys like us, but having said that, there really is a lot of hard work still to do.
Are you going to sacrifice that?
Yeah, and that's exactly the sacrifice is the right word, I think. For the team, you almost do anything, and then this is one of the things you have to battle through. Look, by no means are we just going to accept the fact that batters can't score runs. Yeah, I still believe the batters can get stuck in and score runs. Obviously, it's not going to be easy. It's really going to be a challenge, but I still think if you apply yourself and if you can sort of play for long periods within your own game plan that suits you as a player, there is runs up for grabs, I believe. Massive step up, yes. It's a reason they're the number one side in the world. Obviously, they've got quality players in all departments, so they tick all the boxes, and they're obviously really passionate about the game, and they've come here to compete, which is great. So for me as a young guy to be exposed to it is awesome, and for it to be against the number one test playing side in the world is something that's quite great for a young guy.
In your seconds?
Yeah, look, I think a lot of it is you obviously have a game plan according to wickets, and they might have to adapt on certain pitches, and I think I didn't want to lose my intensity at which I batted at. It's something I gauge, I keep close to me and I gauge it very often. And I generally feel when I'm batting at the right intensity, I move a bit better and my positions are a bit stronger. So that's something I just challenge myself with. It starts in training. Luckily we've got a great attack to face and it's never easy. So to keep challenging my intensity levels is something that I keep working on.
Pressure.
Yeah, massive help. Dean's actually very experienced now in Test match cricket, and last year I think he ended up third leading run scorer. So he's a massive help for me as a young guy. We've come a long way, obviously playing here at the Titans together. So it does help. It does calm me down a bit. It's something familiar because there's quite a few unfamiliarities for me. So it's nice to have Dean at the other end just to calm it all down and to sort of make it feel a little bit more comfortable. Yes, yeah, he knows all about it and he understands my game. So generally he can pick it up, which is a great thing for me to have. He can just sort of say a couple of words to me and it can get me going or whatever it might be. So I'm very, very blessed to have him at the other end, and hopefully it can last quite a while. I think it's a great test venue. Like I've mentioned, the crowd generally pulls in and a lot of people come watch and they get behind the side, which is great. In terms of the cricket itself, it's a wicket where if you set it up as a batter, there is runs up for grabs, like I've mentioned. But also as a bowler, with the pace and bounce, you always have a shot as well. So it's going to be an exciting test match, and one I'm really looking forward to. Yeah, look, it's something that KJ has sort of taken world cricket. He's just sort of fitted like a duck to water, hasn't he? So he's put his hand up for the side, and he almost sees his role as a senior role, even though he's so young. And he's adopted a great mindset. Obviously, a very competitive guy, and he's got a lot of X factor about him. And what's lovely is he likes to compete with batters. Never likes a batter to get up on him or whatever it might be. And it's a great trait for him to have. So yeah, I'm really happy for him that he's got to number one. Puts in a lot of hard work, like all the bowlers do, and it's good to see that he gets rewarded for it. Yeah, obviously we got an insight as to how the pitches are going to be this series. So it's about sort of forming a game plan according to that. We've had a couple of days off to think about it now. So yeah, that's sort of the direction we're looking at. As bad as not to believe that runs can't be scored here. Still to have that positive intensity, like I mentioned, and look to score obviously according to how the wicket's going to play. But yeah, there's learnings in that direction that's happening.
So it's pretty similar to that.
Look, I think it's different for each player. I think it's just important that each player can adapt their game plan to the conditions. Like I've mentioned to CS, it's something that your partners have got to understand. They must be able to sort of know when you may be getting a bit loose or when you need to maybe raise your intensity or whatever it might be. So hasn't really been a fixed blueprint as to how we're going to go about it. It's more different for each player. But it's something that we keep chatting about and we keep sort of that positive affirmation happening.